Regina King, first of all, congratulations on your third consecutive Emmy nomination. Talk us through the morning of.
The morning of, I was actually shooting. I was directing an episode of Shameless, and to be honest, I forgot that the nominations were happening that day because Shameless is such a crazy schedule and where you're shooting so many pages every day. So it wasn't until our gaffer Jeremy said to me, congratulations, Regina. And we were moving to our second location. And I was like, congratulations on like your Emmy nomination. I was like, oh my God, yes. Oh, wow. And I hadn't looked at my phone for a couple hours. And then I went to my phone and saw that I had a bunch of texts, but I couldn't respond because I was in the middle of the Shameless world.
Wow.
And moving and jamming with that amazing crew.
See, that's commitment, man. Like, if I had an Emmy nomination, I would have been in a coma. But that's cool. That's good. That's really cool. I'm so happy for you.
Like, very cool. Very, very cool.
It's very cool. Last time we spoke, we talked about your huge Emmy win in 2015 for your, groundbreaking role as Alia on the first season. And then a few months later, you won again for playing Terry LaCroix. Yeah. And that was like super exciting. What was that night like for you to win for a second time in a row? That doesn't happen very often.
No. So I've heard that it does not happen. So the history says it doesn't happen very often. I guess just another surreal moment. Just it was singular in itself because I felt probably more relaxed during the red carpet part of it than I did the prior year because, I'd already won one. So it's like, I got one. So, you're not expecting it to happen again. And you're so grateful to be in the club of those who have won. And you're also just feeling a lot of gratitude for the Academy nominating you a second time. So for that to happen was just, I don't know. I still don't have the words for it. Just a good feeling. Do you see the smile?
I know. I love it. It's so cool because I was actually wondering, I asked this for people who have won 2 or more, like, is there one that is sweeter? Is it the first breakthrough win or is it the seal of approval? Like, if you had to do the Sophie's
I don't know. I'm curious to know what the other people who've asked that question have said. Gosh. That's tough. I can't say. They're both so individual. Oh gosh, my mom was with me, the second time, so.
Yeah, it's cool.
They're both stunning times in my life, and then to be nominated a third time is a girl could get used to this.
I think so. What's going to happen at the Emmys when we don't see Regina King in the the nominee?
Don't speak that into existence.
How rude! Yeah, that's never going to happen. It was cool to have your mum there. You referred to her. The camera went on her. She looked so proud. And then at the end, you said, "This rocks," and you just walked off the stage. It was like, yes, yeah, you totally earned the moment.
It does. Yeah, it does. It feels like it rocks. It feels like the greatest song, the greatest, all of the greatest, and to be able to share it with so many people. I mean, I think that's been one of the coolest thing about both of them being gifts to keep on giving. Just how many people, just every day that I come across, people that I know, family members, friends, people that I don't know that have been watching me afar, to just hear how many people have been rooting for me and have been fans for years and years and years. And both of those wins for a lot of people symbolize my entire career and watching it still grow for a lot of people. And I guess for myself too. So that's been a gift that keeps on giving.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're one of those people that we look back on and think, why the hell hasn't Regina King won an Emmy or an Oscar or whatever it is? And yeah, it's so super cool to see someone who has paid their dues. You've been working for a long time, and it's nice to see that you're reaping the reward, and that's very cool.
Yeah, yeah, and also because though the shows that I've Southland, I have to bring that up.
Love
American Crime, Leftovers. I think all of the 24.
Yeah,
all of those are really unique individual shows. So to hear people still talking about those shows in the same breath of speaking about American Crime, you know, just is a testament to the universe looking out for a girl.
Let's talk about season 3 because it was very different. Like it tackled so many different things. And when we're talking about your character Kamara, there was a lot to unpack. I'm wondering what was the gateway for you to go into that character?
Well, I mean, I definitely met with a couple social workers and just got a little quick Cliff's Notes version of their place between in my case, the children that they're working with and the system, and how they can be manipulated by both, how they also are such a necessary piece in making both happen. And when I say both happen, finding places for children that are runaways or victims of trafficking, and how they being a social worker works with both. And it's a dance that they're always, and sometimes not always a dance that's that's on beat.
Yeah.
But, when it is on beat, you just recognize, I'm sorry, recognize that these people are our heroes. They're unsung heroes. So I really got to get a closer look into the life of a social worker, and that was very helpful. And then to also dig into that Midwest slight accent and have to tap into that was very cool and different for me. As you guys will see, I like to use the word cool.
Yeah, very
quite
cool.
a bit.
Very cool.
It's a really good word for me. It represents. It's like my favorite adjective.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You're on vacation. You're kind of relaxed. Things are cool right now, and I'm happy for you to use the word. I love that word.
Okay.
But you know what else is cool, actually, about American Crime? John Ridley could have just given you that storyline where you are a social worker, you're working alongside Anna Mother-10, but you also had the infertility storyline. It gave you some depth. We got to kind of peer inside this very broken person who was in quite a lot of pain. What was it like to do that side of her character?
Well, that's the really cool thing about John. You know, when he writes characters, they're not one-dimensional, and that's how people. Oh my gosh, the flies are getting me. Yeah, like boo for you, right?
Yeah. Get another cocktail later, you'll be okay.
His characters are not one-dimensional. They're more like we are in real life, and in real life, we see people, we see who they are, what their job status is. And so often when you come across people that you don't know all those other layers of things that are happening that make them who they are, that make Kamara, Kamara, that make Regina, Regina. And, you know, you meet Kamara and she's a social worker. You have no idea she's a woman that's at a certain age and wants to start a family, her own family, and is having a difficult time with that. And that's a very, unfortunately, common thing for a lot of women her age, but women in all different professions. So for John to come up with adding that layer or that extra dimension, it just reminds people, the audience, just how real these people are on American Crime, you know?
Yeah.
I think that that's something that was indicative of all the characters in all the seasons.
Yeah, and it contextualizes things, and it really helped us kind of root for Kamara.
Yeah.
And then the painful part is Kamara then has to deal with and work with Shay, who wants an abortion at some point during the season, and that would have been very hard for your character. And there's a scene where you're watching or listening to the ultrasound, which is really, really hard to watch. What was that particular scene like to do on the day?
I mean, you know, those scenes are heavy, all of them. I mean, from when she had to identify Shay's body.
Yeah.
Those two scenes were really, really heavy. Those are those scenes that you go home at the end of the day and sleep for 9 hours, because kind of just, as an actor, the very definition of being an actor is being vulnerable and allowing yourself to just be naked and open up old wounds in some cases, or tap into what a wound may be for someone else. I luckily I was blessed to not be in the position of not being able to have children. So, but I do have friends that are in that place. So just considering what it would feel like to hold someone's hand through something that you wish they wouldn't do and can't really impart any judgment on. Yeah. The very idea of that is huge. And I think some of us have been in that situation, not necessarily watching someone get an abortion or watching someone consider an abortion, but maybe perhaps, I mean, as shallow as this may be, but I'm trying to come up with a good analogy without minimizing women who want to have children who can't. Oh gosh. I don't know, maybe something as similar as someone with a terminal illness watching someone else live recklessly.
Yeah.
You know, all of those, I'm sure we can come up with a lot of analogies that are equal to that. And we've had to hold people's hands through it anyway. That puts a lot of weight on someone. Mm-hmm. And trying to tap into that in itself put a lot of weight on me, which I guess is what got me to where I was. It got me to be open in that moment. That was a long way for me to take.
But yeah, I get
I'm just a little too relaxed out here.
You are so relaxed, and I'm loving that. I'm so like, I aspire to be that relaxed now. You know, if we talk about highlights, for me, it was when Kamara, not Regina, Regina playing Kamara, realizes that Shay is the girl who's been killed. The camera's on your face, and your whole face just completely changes. It was so effective. I remember it very clearly, watching it with my family and just thinking, "Oh my God." That was a highlight for me. What was the highlight for you for the 8 episodes of season 3?
Oh man, you know, I guess for me, most of my highlights are kind of not necessarily behind the scenes, but the moments that take place to get to the places that the audience sees. You know, the conversations that take place, the preparation that take place, that there's so, when you're on a set, when you're in production, it moves like a machine, those successes. And, you know, just all of those little conversations that take place between me and Anna Mulvoy, you know, of how we're going to approach the scene, or between the director, Jessica, of how we're going to approach a scene. Those little jewels are the ones you guys don't see. But if they didn't happen, I guess we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
What are your thoughts on ending the show? I mean, it was really great to get 3 seasons out of ABC, but it's ending and it's quite bittersweet, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing. It's bittersweet. ABC definitely went out on a limb to do a show for 3 seasons that's not what's normally in that broadcast network's wheelhouse. And that was a bold thing to do. So I'm forever appreciative to ABC for that. And I am just still grateful that I got to be a part of those 3 seasons. So if it meant that it could only be 3 to have the experience, then only 3 is what I would want it to be. Yeah. Would I wanted to do more? Yes, year after year after year after year, absolutely, because that experience, to be part of like a theater rep group and work with such powerful actors and talented members of the production, those moments don't come around that often. So when they do, you hold on until the wheels fall off.
As a you've been working for a very long time. You're very experienced as an actor. But did you learn anything about yourself or about the way you perform or way you take on a character from this show?
Oh gosh, I think I'm always learning when you're able to do, when I'm able to play something that's really different than something else that I've played. I've been blessed to have worked for over 30 years. So there's been a lot of learning along the way. And I think the last job prepares you for the next, as far as, art goes. Sometimes mistakes make you better. Sometimes saying no to one thing and something else working out makes you better. So I would say yes, with American Crime, it's been no different than with any other project, that learn a little bit more about myself and grow. I guess that's a lot of the learning as well, growing. I feel like I've grown as an actress, just in the past 10 years.
Yeah. One leftovers question. We got to see another really beautiful scene with you and Carrie Coon. It was like an encore from the amazing stuff we got in season 2. What was that? What was the thing that you loved most about working on the leftovers? And did you like the finale if you saw it?
Well, during that scene, I actually tore 2 ligaments in my ankle. And it took a year to heal. It was grade 3 tear. So that's what I remember the most.
Oh my God.
So whenever anyone asks me about it, that is what I think about: the pain, the not being able to walk for 2 months. Yeah, that's what I remember.
What a great legacy.
Oh, but I'm walking again now.
You're good now.
I'm running again now. Still a little pain, a stiffness. It was the worst injury I've ever had in my life.
Oh my gosh.
But, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Thanks, Damon Lindelof. It's all your fault. And finally, before we let you go back to your beautiful vacation, you're starring on a new Netflix series. It looks really exciting. It's by Venus Sood and Gavin O'Connor's attached to direct. And what can you tell us about that? It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. We're in the process of a post right now, so I haven't seen anything. It's a show that's dealing with police brutality, people in situations that are not, people trying to make it in a world that's trying to eliminate middle class. What that means for people into that. I'm trying to find the best ways to say something about it without saying too much. There's always this concern of, oh, you shouldn't have said that. Oh, it's okay to say this. I mean, I imagine that once it does air, the entire season airs at once. So I guess you can talk once that happens. But it's very serious subject matter. I'm trying not to steer people away by saying how serious it is, but it is pretty serious. I play a mother whose son was a victim of police brutality. And I think just that alone, people kind of have an idea of the seriousness of what 7 Seconds is about. So that was a heavy 6 months of work with another great group of actors. But it is kind of reason why I'm on vacation right now. To
decompress,
shed a lot of that, and figure out how to even talk about it, because you know, Black Lives Matter is a really real thing, and there's so many people who feel like, you know, when you say Black Lives, it's not that, it's just Black people saying that, well, our lives aren't being regarded the same way. Yeah. And we've, our show, 7 Seconds, surrounds a lot of that. So pretty heavy stuff, pretty real stuff, necessary stuff, to more of that stuff that goes inside and makes people feel a certain type of way.
Yeah, which I'm looking forward to that. Oh, it's very important.
Yeah. But after that, I'm good.
You know, yeah, you're doing a lot of heavy stuff. Like, you need to do, like, you know, a Disney cartoon or something. You need something very light, man.
That's what I'm working on. I'm actually working on developing the song.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, you got to get back to your vacation. Thank you so much for your time. Can you go and win that 3rd Emmy? I don't think you need to know how it feels like to lose an Emmy. Just go and get another one.
Hey, you know what? From your mouth to God's ears. If we can arrange that some way with the universe, man, we will. All right. But the people will be calling us like, how did they do that?
How did they do it? Sounds good. Enjoy the evening, and we'll hopefully see you next year.
Yes, hopefully, and have a great vacation yourself.
Thank you.